streaming around the clock on CBS News Boston. You're watching WBZ News.
And right now, the WBZ team is issuing a next weather alert for some heavy rain tomorrow. As for today, well, we're nearly halfway through April, and many folks north and west of Boston had a snowy start to the weekend, with some communities picking up several inches. Good afternoon, everyone. Ken MacLeod with you. We got about 3 heavy wet inches out my way in Bolton, twice that in Princeton. A lot of towns in Metro West got just a wintry mix, but we've got rain in the forecast for our Sunday. WBZ meteorologist Jacob Wyckoff is here now with this next weather alert.
What a good snowfall we picked up out in Worcester County, but that snow has come to an end in a lot of locations from the south to the north. And as we go into the afternoon, it's going to be much drier. A lot of our totals, the higher totals, were actually out in Worcester County, 3 to 6 plus inches, still getting some official reports in, but Leominster was one of our big winners. Actually, Leicester was one of our big winners at 7 inches. Less snow as you got closer to Boston, but still a pretty good snowfall for the month of April. When people think of snow in April, you might be surprised, but it's actually rarer to not have snow in the month of April. Only 22 times over the last 130 years did we have no snow in Boston during the month of April. Yeah, these two together, trace amounts and measurable amounts, you get about 111 times over 130 plus years. It's more often than not that we do get some snow in April. So we'll hold on to some gray skies into the afternoon. The rain returns tomorrow morning, and we're going to hold on to rain, especially coastal locations, through the afternoon. The brighter conditions will actually be out in Worcester County and certainly out into the Berkshires. The better chance of seeing dry conditions during the day, central and western Mass. But we all return to sunshine heading into Monday. We're in the 30s for highs today, and we're going to be stuck in the 40s for tomorrow. Brighter skies out to the west, and showers are going to be around for coastal locations. So our hour-by-hour forecast for today keeps us into the 30s. I want to take you to the 7-day forecast and just show some ups and downs. We're back into the 40s for Sunday, mid to low 60s Monday and Tuesday, chance for some showers on Tuesday, and mid to low 50s for Wednesday and Thursday. So we certainly have some ups and downs, but as far as inclement weather goes, today is really the only day that we're dealing with some of those heavier snow showers. A lot of that going to melt away in due time. Back to you.
All right, Jacob, thanks. One person has died and another has been hurt after a house fire in Wareham. This happened shortly after 8:30 Friday night on Kimberly Court. Now, when crews got there, they found the home fully engulfed in flames. One victim died at the scene. Another was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We don't have any word yet on what caused that fire. Many people in Cambridge rallied today, urging Harvard University to push back against demands from the Trump administration. WBZ's Paul Burton shows us how the community got together for this.
This was a very last-minute decision. This rally was put together just 3 days ago, and organizers say they have a very loud and strong message for Harvard leadership. They want them to stand up for democracy and stand up for academic independence.
When our university is under attack, what do?
Braving cold, rainy temperatures, Harvard University students, faculty, along with Cambridge residents and city leaders came together to speak out and to stand up against President Donald Trump and his administration.
And we are here today because our universities are under attack.
The Trump administration has been deporting international students from schools across the country, claiming many of the students have been participating in campus protests. Organizers say so far this month, 12 Harvard affiliates, including 7 current students, have had their student visas revoked, sparking this call for action.
Standing here today comes at a great personal risk for all of us.
Leo Gurdon is an international student from Sweden.
We want a university with an endowment of $50 billion and the best law school in the world to offer all of us full legal representation. Because when ICE agents show up at our doors, Harvard should have our backs.
Several hundred people took part in today's rally, and they say it doesn't stop here. They hope to have more rallies like this with the hopes that the Harvard leadership would hear their voices and not cave in to the Trump administration policies. In Cambridge, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
We reached out to Harvard, which gave us this response to today's rally, saying, quote, "We resolve to take the measures that will move Harvard and its vital mission forward while protecting our community and its academic freedom." The Trump administration has canceled the visas of roughly 500 students and faculty nationwide in recent weeks. That includes Tufts University PhD student Ramesa Ozturk. Now, for the first time, she's describing her detainment by ICE agents in her own words. In new court documents, Ozturk says she didn't believe the agents who stopped her on a Somerville street were police. She also says she feared for her life. A Homeland Security spokesperson said Ozturk's visa was revoked because she supported Hamas. Her lawyers say that's not true, insisting she only co-authored an op-ed criticizing the war in Gaza. Ozturk's next court hearing is set for Monday in Vermont. President Trump has announced a new military move along the southern border of the United States as his administration confronts multiple challenges all around the globe. Bradley Blackburn is tracking the latest from the White House.
President Trump flew south to Palm Beach late Friday as the White House announced plans in the U.S. Southwest. In an executive order, he gave the Pentagon control of federal lands on the southern border, effectively turning them into a military installation. The order says it would enable activities like barrier construction and enforcing security. It includes the Roosevelt Reservation, a narrow strip of land that passes through California, Arizona, and New Mexico. One of the Trump administration's moves on immigration was challenged at the U.S. Supreme Court this week, with the court ordering the White House to work to return a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a Salvadoran prison. Aboard Air Force One, the president said he would comply.
I'm not totally well versed as to the specific case, but if they said to bring him back, I would tell them to bring him back.
Meanwhile, in the global tariff battle, China's 125% tariff on U.S. goods goes into effect Saturday after President Trump raised his tariff to 145% and excluded China from a 90-day pause.
They can choose not to deal with us, or they can choose to pay it. And that's where we are.
And this weekend, the White House is starting new nuclear negotiations with Iran.
I want Iran to be a wonderful, great, happy country, but they can't have a nuclear weapon.
The talks are being held in Oman Saturday. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Closer to home, police in Millis are looking into a possible hit and run. Officers responded to a man who'd been hit by a vehicle on Dover Road Friday night. The victim was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Anyone with information on this is asked to call Millis Police. Police in Malden need help identifying a suspect in connection with a robbery. Police say this person broke into a business in the 400 block of Ferry Street in Malden sometime after 4 o'clock this morning. The person was masked, but police are hoping someone saw them before or after the burglary. Anyone with information is asked to call Malden Police. 3 fishermen were rescued from their sinking boat in Boston Harbor yesterday. The 90-foot Eileen Rita ran aground on rocks near Green Island just before 8 a.m. That's in the outer reaches of Boston Harbor. The boat was taking on water and ended up on its side. The Coast Guard said all 3 crew members were safely removed and ferried to land. Fortunately, no one was hurt.